Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? So I am a man who is staying here in Gokwe. I am a man who is aged 45 years old. I have my own daughter, name hidden. So my daughter currently, she is studying at this other university. My daughter now is 20 years old. She is my pride, my joy. Currently studying at university. She is full of promises and potential, but I have a heavy burden that I need to confess, one that weighs on my soul and darkens my thoughts. Brother Nashi, I just wish that in our country there is going to be a great revival, because if there is no great revival in our nation, most of the people, they are going to be suffering for a very long time. So I grew up in the village where a lot of witchcraft was taking place. Most of the people, they know that in Gokwe there are a lot of things that happen, and indeed it is true. As for my own mother, she was someone who was said to be a witch, and I believe that my mother was a witch. This is what used to happen at our compound. The moment that we returned back from school, we had to start preparing for the evening meal, and we would always eat before the sun would have gone down. And if we would make a mistake to eat after the sun would have gone down, my mother first, she would go and take some charms in her bedroom, and after she would have taken some charms, then she would give us the charms to drink first before we start eating. And usually what would happen is that we would hear people as they would be quarreling in our compound. It was something that was terrifying. So all of these spiritual encounters that we had from a very young age, I think that it left a deep scar in my heart, knowing that your own mother is a witch. Sometimes my mother, she would go at the back of her bedroom, then she would be speaking, and what kind of a creature she would be talking to, one would not even understand. And she would even go to the back of her bedroom whilst she would be holding a plate that would be full of soft porridge and meat. One more thing, my mother and my father, they never ate meat that had salt. This they used to do. My father and my mother, they would go to funerals, and it was a well-known fact that my father and my mother, they never ate the food that would have been prepared at that funeral. And that is what we used to do. We'll never eat the food that would have been prepared at the funerals. So my father, it was said that since he was a big cotton farmer, my father had gone to get this other charm. In Shona, we call it Lungwa. That was the charm that my father was using on his cotton farm. My father was a big cotton farmer, and late at night, there were people that used to say that when they would pass through my father's fields, then they would see an hippopotamus, but this hippopotamus that they would see, it will not have 4 legs. It walked as if it was a man. So this was the creature that people were saying that my father was using in his cotton fields, and this was the creature that used to come and was given the food by my own mother. When my mother passed away, there was a snake, Brother Nashi, that was seen inside a coffin, such that we were not even allowed to see our mother the last time when they were doing a body viewing on her. What happened was that her relatives were the ones that opened up her coffin. When they opened up her coffin, that was when they said that they saw a snake. This snake, it was coiled around her neck, and when they saw everything, then they told us that we could not view our mother's dead body for the last time. Later on, after we had buried her, that was when at the family meeting people started to talk, and they told us everything that they had seen. So they did not want to traumatize us even further at that time, when before we had buried my mother. Even when she came from the mortuary, people were hearing other voices that were speaking as if she was having a conversation from her coffin. That is what happened when my mother was still alive until the day that she died. So my mother and my father, when they both passed away, they did not tell us anything. So we did not have any peace. I went to Harare trying to find some work, and I was just having bad luck until I went to this other traditional healer. This traditional healer that assisted me was staying in Old Tafara. He was a man that was from Mozambique who had came to our country a very long time ago. He used to work in the mines, and he started working at the farms until he started staying in Old Tafara. This man, he then told me that he wanted to assist me so that he can chase away this spirit of bad luck. I urge people not to go to the traditional healers if it ever happens that they sense that they have the spirit of bad luck on them, because it all starts with you going to a healer saying that you have bad luck. Then the healer will offer you good luck. And with that good luck, there is a spirit that it will bring with the spirit of the tokoloshi. Now I have a tokoloshi. So at that time, when I went to that traditional healer, I was already married. And my daughter, she was already 10 years old. So then I went to that traditional healer, and then the traditional healer then told me that it was far much better for me to take my daughter with him, this traditional healer, to his other brother who was staying in Chipinge. So the money that was needed at that time, it was a lot. I could not afford to go to Chipinge with the traditional healer, because he said that he cannot go to Chipinge alone. We had to travel with some of his companions. So I worked really hard. By the time that I was able to go with this traditional healer to Chipinge, my daughter, she was 18 years old, Brother Nashi. That is how long it took me. I then went to that traditional healer, and I told the traditional healer that finally I had gotten the money. We then went to Chipinge. When we went to the brother, he was very old. He then performed a ritual. This ritual, we went to the grave, and I married off my daughter to the spirit of the dead. As for my daughter, she did not even know what was happening, because she had been given some alcohol to confuse him that was mixed with some charms. We went to that grave, and in doing so, I was binding her to that grave, to that man that was buried in that grave, such that she will never get married. My daughter cannot marry another man, nor bear children. She remains tied to that grave in Chipinge. Her future I sacrificed, and I sacrificed her simply because I wanted to be rich. This is the ritual that I did. I told myself that even though I had done this ritual, I said, I am a man. I can marry as many women as I can, and these women, they are going to give me as many kids as they can. So at that time, when we returned back to Gokwe, within a very short period of time, Brother Nashi, I had renovated my late parents' houses, and then that was when one of my son passed away. When my son passed away, I then went to another traditional healer who then pointed at me with his walking stick, and he said that I am a ritualist. I was the one who had sacrificed my own son. I was shocked, but I then returned back to Harare, and I found out that the old man had passed away. I then went to Chipinge, wanting to know what really happened. When I went to Chipinge, that was when I found out that the brother of that traditional healer had also passed on. His sons, they are the ones that are helping people to do these blood money-making rituals. They took out a book, and this is what they said: for them to take back this tokoloshi that was given to me by their own father. They are saying that they want 90 cows for me, where they said that they want 90 cows from me in order for them to accept this tokoloshi, because they said that when their father was still alive, he had said that I was supposed to return back, and I saw that this traditional healer, they will just rob you, because that man, I asked him several times, what am I supposed to do if this charm, if it happens that something goes wrong with this charm? And he said, no, this charm will never go wrong. Go and make your money. There is no need for you to return back. But when I looked at the book, in that book there are the names of all the people that he has given tokoloshis. I then found out that he had written that I was supposed to return back to him within a short period of time after I would have made my money, but he did not tell me. So now the children are saying that they want 90 cows. I do not know where to get them. So I have tried to date as many women as I can with the money that I have. But Brother Nashi, it seems as if I can't impregnate any woman at all. So this is my own story. As for now, I am looking for a good church where I can go to. Do not tell me about these prophets, because I once went and I had a one-on-one with this other prophet. To my surprise, this man, he asked me, where exactly did I go to Chipinge? So I thought that maybe this was part of the one-on-one with the man of God. But this man, I then found out that he also wanted to go there. He wanted to go there to strengthen himself. And I was like, oh God, this means that I am in trouble. This man, I thought that he was a man of God, but he also wants me to give him some phone numbers so that he can go to that same place where I went to do this blood money making rituals. I am in trouble. I want your listeners to help me out. If they know any good church here in Zim, a good church where I can go to, where I can get my deliverance and my healing, for I want my daughter to get married. My daughter is quite smart and intelligent. I do not want her to spend all of her life suffering because of my mistakes. Dear listeners, right there was a narration of a message that I received. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.